Hello guys, here we are in tutorial number 4, and I hope you are fine with the last 3 videos, and you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you have anything that you don't understand, you have the chance to ask. Leave your comment at the bottom of the comment section of the video. So today in tutorial number 4, we are going to build a backdrop screen with a KivyMD Backdrop. So this backdrop allows you to actually have a front layer and a back layer, which you can put different things, which is cool, right? Under one screen you can actually show 2 different kind of things. So I'm going to show you how you can build this backdrop backdrop in this tutorial, and then at the end of this video you are going to have something like this. So I'm sure now most of you would have already downloaded this MyTransportApp from the Google Play Store. If you haven't do that, go ahead and download it to play around, and then you will be able to understand what we are trying to build at the end of the series. Okay, and then I also created a Buy Me a Coffee page. If you like to contribute to and support to my channel, you would like to buy me a coffee, I really appreciate that. And I'm also going to leave the link of this at the description of this tutorial. And yeah, so actually we actually go through the homepage of the app, and then we have a navigation drawer, and then actually when you click on the first button of the home page, it's going to bring you to taxi screen. So in the last video we talked about how we handle the taxi screen, how we handle the data from the LTA DataMall, which is the Land Transport Authority of Singapore. So in this video we are going to look at the bus stop screen. So what we want to do in this screen is that we want to display the bus stop nearby, and then yeah, so where and how we are going to get the information about the bus stop that is nearby you. So that is very simple. We go back to the LTA DataMall. Again, I believe by now you would have already request for API access. You already have your API key. If you haven't do that, please request for your API access key, or go back to the previous video to see how you can do that. So in the API documentation, right, today we are going to look at section 2.4, which is bus stop. So this is the URL which we will perform a GET request, and then what we are going to get is a list of bus stop in JSON format. So this bus stop information consists of bus stop code, the road name of that bus stop, description of the bus stop, and the latitude and longitude of the bus stop. So what we are looking for is the latitude and longitude, so that we can actually create a marker on the map view to show all the bus stop that is nearby you. Okay, you can actually use the POSTMAN to send a GET request. In the header section, you need to put in your account key. Of course, you put in your account key here. I'm not going to show you my account key. You need to do a request to the LTA DataMall yourself. Just apply, click this request for API access, and fill out the information. Okay, and then accept is application/JSON, and then this is what you are going to get. You can see we have a lot of bus stop. Each bus stop is in one object. Okay, we have a list of a lot of objects. So so we are going to take this latitude and longitude information to create a marker on the map view, which we are going to do in the next tutorial. But in this here, I just want to show you how you can get the bus stop data from the LTA DataMall. But before we proceed to get this data, what we are going to do today is we want to create the backdrop. So let's go to your Visual Studio Code. Well, actually I haven't opened up my script. Let me open up. Where we are. MyTransportApp. So I'm sure you know, right? You need to open the Anaconda Navigator and then click on the Visual Studio Code launch in order to get the Visual Studio Code window like this. And after that, you need to open the folder which you save the MyTransportApp. Okay, close it, close it, close it. Okay, I think I will just run it to make sure we to see where we left off since last week. I mean the last tutorial. So yep, we create a home map view, and then we have a navigation drawer. Okay, and then we have a taxi screen. Then when we go back, yeah, taxi, all the taxi nearby you, and also the taxi stand. You see all the red color ones are the taxi that is nearby. So go back. Now when we click on the bus, it should throw us an error because there is no bus stop screen created yet. So now we want to create a bus stop screen. Okay. So the first thing that we want to do is to go to the this web-based version of tutorial in my learndatascienceskill.com, my website, and then look at the first step. So we already go through that. We want to send a GET request to section 2.4 bus stop URL. We already look at the information over there. The next thing that we want to do is under the main.py, we want to create a bus stop class, bus stop screen class. So we copy this. And then under the taxi screen, I create this. And then the next step is actually you want to go to the main.kv. It's actually the same process every time you want to create a screen. First, you create a new class in the main.py. Then the next thing they want to do is in the main.kv, you want to include a bus stop screen from KV folder, which we haven't created yet. Later on, we will create a bus stop screen in the KV folder. And then under the navigation layout, under the screen manager, right, you want to create a new bus stop screen, which I described here also. So in the main.kv, include this, and then under navigation layout screen manager, you want to have this bus stop screen with name and ID of bus stop screen. Alright, so we save it. Okay, then in the KV folder, we want to create bus stop screen.kv. Cool. And then this is the whole bunch of script that we want to copy from here, and then I'm going to explain to you. Copy. Nope. Sometimes it just doesn't allow me to copy. No. Well, there is a problem with this WordPress website sometimes. Come on. Right click. Copy. Copy. Okay. Paste it here. Okay. Now we have it. So we create a bus stop screen class that is reference to this bus stop screen and the main.py. And then so we have a float layout. We need a float layout in order to define the post hint and size hint of each widget. Then we have a first we have a grid layout, and the position of the grid layout This is referring to this backdrop. Okay, I define a grid layout for this backdrop. So the position is at 0.89.5 because the top 10% I leave it for the title bar. Okay, and then the size of it is going to take the 70% of the page. Okay, so then we will have another MD toolbar at the bottom of it, which is a search toolbar, and then the title of it is which area of bus stop you are looking for. So this actually allows the user to click the magnifying icon, and then it call a function called bus stop search menu. So it's going to pop up a menu and allow the user to type in the area that he's looking for. It's just the same function as the one at the home screen. So when you key in the address you're looking for, it's going to the map view is going to move and then center on the address that you're looking for, and then it will show you all the bus stop that is nearby that area. So yeah, it basically allows the user to check the bus stop at the area which he's not located at. So for example, I'm at the east side of Singapore, but I want to check the bus stop at the north side of the Singapore. Yeah, basically I can use this search button to do it. Color, pause and size hint. Okay, and then at the bottom of it we will have a grid layout to put our label button. We have one row, and then the size hint is 10% of it, and then pause hint is going to locate at the last 10% of the screen. Okay, so 3 label button. One is back button, the other one is bus stop button, and one is bus services button. So bus stop will show all the bus stops that is nearby you, and bus services will show all the bus that is on the road running nearby you. Okay, but later on you're going to notice that as we as we are in the bus stop screen, we are able to click on that bus stop, and then we are going to see what are the buses that will be arriving to that particular bus stop. While for bus services, you can see all the bus services nearby you, and then when you click onto that bus services, it's going to show you the route of that bus. Okay. So now we have 3 buttons here, and then the first button, back button, right, I put it as a text, and then U is referred to the underline. Okay, canvas dot before the same as what we did previously. We define the color, the canvas color, to be as same as the primary color when when you are not clicking it. But then if somebody click it, it's going to change the color to this hex color. Okay, so on release, when this button is released, it's going to go back to the home screen. When we are going to go back to the home screen, and then I do the same label button for bus stop screen and bus service screen, except that they are going to different places. So the bus stop, when you click this bus stop, it's going to bring you to bus stop screen, but as you navigate from the home screen, when you click this bus to this bus stop screen, the first screen that it will load at here is going to be bus stop screen. So when you click this, you will still be in the bus stop screen. Okay, unless when you click the bus services, then you are going to be navigate to the bus service screen, and then if you click this bus stop again, then you will come back to bus stop screen. So I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, so now we save this one, and then we go to the next. So in the main.py under the change screen function, we want to add this. Add this. So the screen name is going to be bus stop screen. So as we navigate to bus stop screen, we're going to change the title of the page of the screen to bus stop. You can put other names if you want. And then one more thing that I want to do here is that I want to change the size. So this self.root.id, okay, so I'm referring to the bus stop screen, which is this one, .id.busstop toolbar. So you're going to see that this toolbar, which is this one, I'm referring to this. I should put the long string. So I actually want to change the size of this string to be something smaller, to the 13 sp. Okay, so this busstop toolbar.id.label title.font-size. So I'm actually trying to change this busstop toolbar .title .ids.label-title.font-size. So I'm just really trying to change the size of this title, okay, to something like 13 xp. You can define the size as you want, because I'm putting a long string over there, and if I don't do it, the string is going to be out of the screen, and the user is going to have a problem reading it. So yeah, this is a way to resize your string, your title, and the empty toolbar. Okay, and moving next at step number 6. Now we can add a backdrop because we already have a screen. So our screen have nothing yet because when you run it, it's taking some time. Okay. As you click on the bus, now you are at the empty screen. So now if I click this magnifying glass, it's going to throw me an error because we haven't created a function yet of the search pop-up menu. But don't worry, we're going to do that later. Let's first handle the backdrop. So now we want to add the backdrop. So first we create a bus stop folder for everything. Later on we are going to throw all the map view file, or mapview.py file, GPS helper file, all inside this bus stop folder. So we have a folder for taxi. Now we want to create a folder for bus stop. New folder, bus stop folder. Okay. Then inside it, we want to create the bus stop backdrop layout.py. Backdrop layout.py. Okay. And then inside we will put this bunch of script. Okay. So I'm going to explain it. So what is going to happen is that we have a class called bus stop backdrop layout, and then when we run this class, right, we can first instantiate this class in the main.py, and then when we run it, the thing that this class is going to do is it's going to load this bunch of string. So this bunch of string is equivalent to something that you write in .kv file, because this is also one of the methods that you can also do with Kivy. Other than trying to create a .kv file, you can actually create a string in the kv format, and then you try to use this builder.loadString. So I'm trying to load this kv variable. This kv is equal to this bunch of string, but then you need to from kv.lang import builder in order to be able to use this builder. So after I built it, I'm going to return it to return this this screen called bus stop backdrop. Okay. So this bus stop backdrop class is referring to this class inside this bunch of KB string. So again, let me repeat, when I instantiate this class, it's going to load this string. So inside this bunch of string, I have 3 things. I have the backdrop front layer, I have the backdrop back layer, and these 2 layers are actually reporting to this master backdrop. So actually building a backdrop, which underneath of it I have MD backdrop back layer and MD backdrop front layer. You are not allowed to change the name of these 2 layers, but then underneath of it you can actually create the layer that you want. You can change the name. For example, here I name it as my backdrop back layer, which is referring to here is a scroll view. I actually try to inherit the scroll view, inherit from scroll view class, so that I can use all the methods and variables inside the scroll view. And then the front layer, I actually define my backdrop front layer, which inherit from screen. So, and then inside my bus.backdrop, I also have my ID as a backdrop, and then I define my left action item, which is referring to this left action item. So when this backdrop is closed, you will have a transfer down button. When you click it, it's going to call for self.open. It's going to call this backdrop to open. Okay. But then when it's open, we click it. At this stage, when you click the cross, it's going to cross the front layer. And the title of this backdrop is, you can define yourself, like press for list of bus stop nearby. Click it. It's going to list. I'm going to list out all the bus stop nearby, and then at the front layer, I'm going to create a map view with the marker to show all the bus stop nearby. Okay. The rest, radius left, radius right. Okay, and the header text is this one, bus stop nearby. Okay, so what we're going to do again, when we run this, when we instantiate this class and then we call the run function, it's going to build this whole thing and then return it back to us. We're going to call it at the main.py, and then we are going to put this into the bus stop screen. Okay. So next one, in the main.py, in the onStart function, we want to instantiate the bus stop backdrop, and then we add to the bus stop screen. So how we are going to do that? Go back to the main.py under the onStart. So everything you want to do it as the app is initiated from the beginning. As you open the app, you can put under onStart, because this is all the thing that the app will do as the app is started. But if you have something that you only want to do when you are at a certain screen, then you can put under here. For example, if screen name is equal to home screen, I want to do this. If screen name is going to taxi screen, I want to do this. So in onStart, I want to instantiate the bus stop backdrop. So I'm going to call this bus stop backdrop layout class, and then I put a bracket, means I instantiate it. I make it into from class to an object, and then .run. .run means I actually calling the function, this run function inside this class. Okay, and then I assign it to bus stop backdrop layout. Why am I putting a self here? So if you don't put a self here, you can only use this variable inside this function. But if you want to use this variable outside this function, like for example, if I want to call this bus stop backdrop layout in my change screen function, I must put a self here. If I don't put a self here, only this particular function can use this variable. Okay. So self.bus.backdrop layout, and then I'm going to call the self.root.id.bus.screen. So self.root.id.bus.screen, Okay, .id.BusStop Backdrop, BusStop screen .BusStop Backdrop, and calling here. Okay, this is my ID. This BusStop Backdrop is going to add widget. So I want to add the BusStop Backdrop layout inside here. I already prepare the grid layout, a container for us to put in to add the widget inside. You create the layout, BusStop Backdrop layout, and then after that you put inside this grid layout. Okay, and then it will fill up the space of this grid layout. Okay. Of course, you want to import this BusStop Backdrop layout class to the main.py in order to be able to call it. So on top of it, from BusStop folder .BusStop Backdrop this file, I want to import this BusStop Backdrop layout class to the main.py, so that here I can call it and instantiate it. And then the change screen function, right? Inside the if screen is going to BusStop screen, this is where we want to add our BusStop map view in the next tutorial. Okay, but for now we can actually say that BusStop Backdrop front layer is equal to self.BusStop Backdrop layout. So now you see the function of self. Now we are able to call this BusStop Backdrop layout that is defined in the onStart function, and we can use it here because we have a self inside in front of this variable. If you don't put it, you are not able to call this BusStop Backdrop layout. So inside this BusStop Backdrop layout, right, inside of it we have ID call front layer. So for the front layer, I have ID called front layer, and the back layer I have ID called container. You name it whatever ID you want to use. You can put your own name. So front layer I call it front layer. Back layer I call it container. So actually referring to the front layer here. Okay, as this variable actually referred to the front layer in the BusStop Backdrop. And I'm going to use this one to add the map view in the next tutorial. Okay. So do not forget that we need to create. So now if you run the script, right? Run it. And then if you click bus, now we have the backdrop. You see, I have a down button. If I click it, the front layer is going to drop down. Then if I close it, the front layer is going to go back. So this front layer and this back layer, we can put the things that we want to put. I'm going to put a map view here with the marker of the back BusStop, and then here I'm going to have the list of BusStop in the scroll view. Okay, cool. Now, so remember that we have a magnifying glass, which when we click it, you want to pop up a search button, same like the home search pop-up menu. So we did that before. So what you're going to do is create a BusStop search pop-up menu in the BusStop folder, and then copy all this. Oops, again. Just doesn't allow me to copy. I'm going to figure out why after this. Let's see. So I didn't copy the last one. Okay, so I think I explained it before. We are actually using the geocoder API. If you don't know about this, please go back to my tutorial number 1, in which I explained about the home map view in the home search button. Okay, so this search button is going to function the same as the home search button, in which as the user click this toolbar, the magnifying glass, it's going to call a function called bus stop search menu in the main.py, which we haven't defined yet. And then this bus stop search menu is going to call a function called opened, which is this one. It's going to pop up a menu, the MD dialog, to ask you to key in the Singapore area name that you want to look for. And then after you type in the address, you can click search button. It's going to use this API with your API key in this URL. It's going to do a URL request. So Kivy actually offer kivy.network.url request. So this URL request is different with I think we haven't come to that. Let's see. Let me check. I think in the taxi folder, taxi map view. Yeah. So in the taxi map view, right, we actually use the request.get, in which we import the request and JSON and use the JSON.lot. So the difference between request and this request, right, and the request offered by Kivy here is that this request actually allows you to do the asynchronous, they call it asynchronous request, in which the script will continue to run while you are doing request. Okay, we know that the script is actually being read from the top to the bottom. So while you are normally, when you are doing once one line of code is being read, when it's being carried out, it won't move on to the next. But this URL request actually allows the request to be conducted, while at the same time the code will continue to run. So it's called asynchronous request. So if you use the request.get, it's going to stop at that request until it's finished before you move on. Sometimes that request.get has a better performance in terms of not in terms of speed, but in terms of giving you the accurate result. I mean, you won't miss out anything from that request. But if you do use this URL request, like your apps will run in a better performance because you won't feel the lag. But sometimes if you're using this URL request to request for too many things, it's going to miss out a lot of things. It's fast, it's better in performance instead of the speed, but then there's a disadvantage that for example, you are trying to request for a list of 5,000 JSON object. Maybe in the end you will only get like 3,005 or 4,000. You miss. There is a lot of things that is being missed out. Okay, this is my experience. Maybe I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. So we have finished explaining the bus stop search. So on success of this request, right, it's going to get the latitude and longitude of that address that you type in. And then we are going to call our map view, which we haven't defined yet. We're going to define our map view in the next tutorial. And then we want our map view to center on this latitude and longitude, so that the map view will move to the address that you're looking for, and then we will show the nearby bus stop at that particular area. So, and then in the main app, we want to say bus stop search menu equal to none. Here, yeah, and then because app.bus stop search menu, we want to call this bus stop search menu, but in the beginning we define it to be nothing. And then lastly, we can instantiate this bus stop search pop-up menu in the onStart function. So so we are going to create this object from this bus stop search pop-up menu class, which is here, this class, and then we are going to import this class to the main.py, which is the last one. Oh, I haven't created the code yet, but it's okay, we can write it ourselves. So from bus stop folder dot bus stop search pop-up menu import bus stop search pop-up menu. Okay, this is what we are looking for. Hop. Close it, save. Okay, so now it's safe, and then if you run this, what time is it? Well, I already took 36 minutes for this video. I didn't know. Cannot import bus stop. Okay, let's see. We haven't saved this. This one, it couldn't actually find this class inside this folder. So run it again. Here we are. Click on the bus. We have a backdrop. Okay. And then if you click this, it's going to pop up a dialog, ask you to key in, and then when you click the search button, it's going to focus on that particular point on the map view. We'll create the map view, that's why this one won't work, but don't worry, in the next video we are going to do that. So here is where I want to stop for today. For this tutorial, I hope you like it. I hope I explained it clear enough, and yeah, please stay tuned to the series, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one.